Hello peoples, welcome to my YouTube channel Knowledge Raj King. Today I'm going to tell you about data recovery. So let's start. What is data recovery? Data recovery is a process of salvaging inaccessible, lost, corrupted, damaged or formatted data from secondary storage, removable media or files, when the data stored in them cannot be accessed in a usual way. The data is most often salvaged from storage media such as internal or external hard disk drives, HDDs, solid-state drives, SSDs, USB flash drives, magnetic tapes, CDs, DVDs, RAID subsystems, and other electronic devices. Recovery may be required due to physical damage to the storage devices or logical damage to the file system that prevents it from being mounted by the host operating system, OS. How data recovery works. The data recovery process varies, depending on the circumstances of the data loss, the data recovery software used to create the backup and the backup target media. For example, many desktop and laptop backup software platforms allow users to restore lost files themselves, while restoration of a corrupted database from a tape backup is a more complicated process that requires IT intervention. Data recovery services can also be used to retrieve files that were not backed up and accidentally deleted from a computer's file system, but still remain on the hard disk in fragments. Data recovery is possible because a file and the information about that file are stored in different places. For example, the Windows operating system uses a file allocation table to track which files are on the hard drive and where they are stored. The allocation table is like a book's table of contents, while the actual files on the hard drive are like the pages in the book. When data needs to be recovered, it's usually only the file allocation table that's not working properly. The actual file to be recovered may still be on the hard drive in flawless condition. If the file still exists, and it is not damaged or encrypted, it can be recovered. If the file is damaged, missing or encrypted, there are other ways of recovering it. If the file is physically damaged, it can still be reconstructed. Many applications, such as Microsoft Office, put uniform headers at the beginning of files to designate that they belong to that application. Some utilities can be used to reconstruct the file headers manually, so at least some of the file can be recovered. Most data recovery processes combine technologies, so organizations aren't solely recovering data by tape. Recovering core applications and data from tape takes time, and you may need to access your data immediately after a disaster. There are also risks involved with transporting tapes. In addition, not all production data at a remote location may be needed to resume operations. Therefore, it's wise to identify what can be left behind and what data must be recovered. Different types of data recovery services. When a computer crashes, it can result in data loss. This can be loss of small files, or in the case of a large company, it can cause a company to lose a ton of money. There are many different types of data recovery services that can be offered to recover data depending on the type of crash. Below are some of the services that are offered at many data recovery companies. Number 1, HARD drive recovery. A large percentage of data recovery services comes from hard drive failures and is increasing. Because technology is advancing every day, hard drives are getting larger and holding more data, which means that data recovery is more important than it used to be because people are worried about losing all of their precious data. Hard drives are reaching capacity levels of 200 gigabytes or more. This means that the potential for extreme data loss has skyrocketed. Almost everything that is done is put on a hard drive in one form or another, and people are neglecting to back up that hard drive and are at risk of losing everything. Number 2, RAID recovery. RAID systems are extremely complex, and due to the extreme expertise needed to develop, administer, and maintain, there is much more potential for damage and configuration problems. When a RAID system is not backed up correctly, it can lead to complete business failure or extreme financial loss. RAID systems are the most critical part of a company since everything is digital now. If your RAID system fails, do not touch it or try and fix it yourself. Call a specialist or things could be lost forever. Number 3, TAPE recovery. Tape is primarily used for backup and is used as a sequential storage media. Tape allows for large capacity backup and is good for businesses. Just remember, like the RAID system, it is very complex and you should not take on the recovery yourself. You could end up making things worse. Professionals have unique technology and tools specifically for tape recovery. Chances are, professionals have seen every kind of tape recovery and will be able to help as long as you do not make things worse. Number 4. OPTICAL recovery. Optical media is written and read by a laser, such as CDs and DVDs. There are many problems that can cause an optical media to fail. The CD or DVD could become scratched, the player could ruin the media and more. Please do not attempt to fix. This will only make things worse. Number 5. REMOVABLE recovery. Removable recovery involves storage media such as floppy disks, zip drives, and other related storage media. DC storage devices are much smaller, therefore they hold less than the other types of media we have talked about. There are a number of problems that can arise from these storage devices. These include physical damages and human error. These problems can cause overwritten data, disk reformatting, and virus damage. Every recovery situation is unique, and when this happens, make sure you call a professional right away. Number 6. DIGITAL recovery. Digital media devices include cameras, portable storage devices, and other flash media. Since these are becoming more affordable, there is a rising demand for recovery for these types of products. Data recovery companies have developed appropriate digital data loss solutions. If you do experience a failure of any of these devices, do not panic and call a data recovery specialist right away. Datatech Labs is here to help. Contact us today at 888-288-DATA. If you like my video, then subscribe to channel, so that you do not miss any of my videos. Thank you.